Okay. So, start the show.
Really? We're just going to start like that? All right. Oh, my. It's very hot tonight. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Le Champ or Lucky Track Dog you run, SCCA or NASA, depending on your stickers, we're not going to discriminate. We even think you Drifto Hella Flush peeps are all right, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of low buck and amateur endurance racing. I hate the way we phrase that. It might be on the spot, hella sweet or but terrible, but if you're lucky, Chrissy might give you just the tip. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
And we are Everyone Racers. Thanks for coming back and listening to another Herbie episode of our podcast. It's number 53.
Oh, so cute.
You know why every Volkswagen doesn't have 53 on every white Volkswagen doesn't have 53 on the side is beyond me.
Seriously,
people aren't creative enough.
I know.
And it's not even that creative. Just rip it off.
Seriously.
Anyway,
I think part of it is that it was Lindsay Lohan was associated with it.
No, but they had those new Beetles forever, and nobody put 53s on them. Anyway, news and what
are you doing?
Jumping the gun.
We're skipping ahead.
What you
Jeff
working
skips
on?
everybody.
I'm figuring out what part of your podcast we're on.
Jeff, why don't you? If you're so excited, why don't you start telling us what you're working on?
Sure. Last Saturday, I participated in one of the greatest rituals of manhood. I bought my nephew a car. His manhood, not mine. No, I would not put that plague on anyone. So my brother Jim, who wanted a second pair of eyes to make sure he had some adult supervision and making sure the correct car was selected, we had the following cars on our list, and everyone gets to guess what a 17-year-old, because that is the legal driving age in New Jersey, decided to buy. We had a Saab 9.3 Sport Combi.
I'm going to need conditions and prices.
All conditions the same, all prices about the same. Everything was in the budget.
All right, what was the condition?
What's condition, though?
Good, decent. They're all decent condition.
Like Jeff decent or Chris and Chrissy
decent?
No,
good decent. Like I would buy it for
Jeff decent.
listen to the
about
list.
In between, actually, is where it ends up. Yeah.
Okay, what? No, we're listening.
No, I'm just rolling my eyes. For this
I know.
So, nephew does drive stick.
Yay!
9 Sport Combi, 5-speed.
Jim, you raised them right.
Honda Element, 5-speed.
No.
Chevy Malibu, automatic. Hyundai Sonata,
Boo.
6-speed.
Boo.
What would the average New Jersey 17-year-old buy? We'll go around the table, including guest Eric, who we haven't even introduced yet. Chrissy,
how's it going?
What did we buy?
I kind of want to know what colors they are. I feel like that might matter.
Such a millennial.
No?
Is there a specific one you want the color
come on,
of?
I'm not.
Gray, orange.
The Element.
The Element was the orange one, the burnt orange one.
I'm going to go Element.
Not a bad choice. Anyone else? Chris, Eric?
As much as I would love to hope it was the Saab, I'm probably going to go Element, and I will just be so disappointed if it's either of the other two because they're so lame.
I agree.
Like, so lame.
Super duper lame, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mental? Your choice?
I almost verbatim for Chris. I want him to have gotten the Saab wagon, but he probably got the Element. And honestly, Element's a cool car, especially a 5-speed. That's a rare one.
Yep. Detroit boy?
Or Chicago.
Boy.
I don't know. Chicago?
Wherever you
I know
are.
somewhere. Middle of the country guy?
You know, if you're going to mistake me for a Tigers fan, I may as well just get the hell out of here.
I said nothing about the Tigers.
That was insinuated.
Oh.
And because of that, I guess I have to answer Chevy Malibu. Is that how that works?
All right. I got my nephew a 2011 Pearl White because Chrissy wants to know. 4-cylinder, 5-speed Hyundai Sonata. Because that's what he wanted.
Oh my
At
goodness.
least it's 3 pedals. I don't know.
Is he a listener?
Who knows? Chevy Malibu, myself and Father of the Year said, no, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Combi, he said, I don't want a wagon. To which I cope slapped him.
You fell
Yeah.
over?
I did. I was like,
That's awesome.
You're not my nephew.
yeah. So it was between the Element, and he decided he didn't want an SUV, and he wanted something big, and there it is. Hyundai Sonata.
That's for people who have never driven a Honda Accord. That's really what the Sonata is for.
I agree. Well, you can't touch Accords. They're like, you can't find them and stick.
No,
So,
they don't.
No, I'm
Actually, they
surprised
quit
there's so many
making them a
free
few
pedals
years
here.
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was surprising.
Yeah. So anyway, Monday night.
So you bought the Element for yourself then, right?
Did not. I
No,
wanted
the Saab. The Saab.
The
Come on.
Saab is the one I
Right?
Of course,
wanted.
it would be the
Absolutely
Element's the
right.
one he should buy, but the Saab would be the one he did
I
buy.
seriously drove home the next day, like going, if I put my Mazda 3 into the wall, that Saab is probably still available. And the general price was $5,000. So they were all $5,500, somewhere in there. So anyway, so Monday night, I was so excited about purchasing, not I purchased it, but buying car shopping, that I went motorcycle shopping. Yes, you heard that right. I have
Not
been
like
in search, not like a
Harleys or
real
some
motorcycle.
Softail.
Exactly.
Yeah, you go and
So I wanted
He got a
pit
full dresser
transportation.
because he's that lame. No.
Exactly. I wanted pit transportation very badly. I have.
You're just so jealous of Scooty.
I am
You're
a bit.
so
No.
jealous.
I'm not jealous of Scooty. I can't remember the listener's name who showed up with that CT90. That's what I'm jealous about. So I desperately want a classic motorcycle, and popped up on my Facebook ads were 363 Honda C105 Trail Cubs, 3.5 77 Kawasaki KV75s, or 172 Honda SL125 dirt bike. And I said, well, clearly I'm showing up with this. They were all $500. Clearly I'm showing up with $500 and going home with one of them.
So they're all one guy selling those.
One guy was selling everything. I met
He's
this
got a
great
problem.
guy. Yeah, he's got a problem. I met this great guy.
And
named
he's hoping
Paul.
to give that problem to Jeff.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. He had a classic moto problem. He had dirt bikes. He had a Chappie, a green and white Chappie that made my pants tight. It was amazing. He had 2 perfect CT90s. One was his, one was his wife's. The Chappie was his wife's. It wasn't for sale. Tons of motorcycles, lots of stuff from the 70s. I talked to him for like 4 hours. I learned a lot, and I learned that I don't want to be in the business of owning a classic motorcycle. And I
So
walked
you
out
left-
with my $500 and did
Wow.
not buy a single thing.
What? I
I
don't
know.
even believe
Wow.
you.
Neither did
But-
the wife.
That is legitimately impressive, Jeff. And I'm going to give you a bad piece of advice right now. So if we find ourselves at a race that I can drive to in my attic in boxes, is a complete 1965 Suzuki K10 that I will hand you.
So that it can live in boxes in Jeff's garage.
Ed Zachary.
I'll basically say that each one of these was a project, and he started talking about, well, you need a blah blah blah, and you put it in blah, and you get a blah blah blah, and I was like, I wanted to buy a motorcycle, not a new hobby. So
You do realize that you put the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah is every conversation you've ever had with the lovely and talented Jen, right?
Well, I understand this. Like, if I said that I put 275s in my D16 Y8 Honda, that would make sense to us. This guy just basically spoke motorcycle to me, and I went, not getting it. Sorry.
Oh,
Same
and I-
language, different dialect.
Yeah.
not
So
the target market.
the best running one of each of the sets ran crappy, and basically
So it's ready for you.
and basically needed restoration, and it came with all of the parts for it, and I wasn't down. I don't need a restoration project.
No, you don't.
No.
So
I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
thanks.
This is like
Really
a step
good.
forward,
I'm
Jeff.
Growth.
I'm actually like a little shocked. I can't get to proud.
Like before you did this, I texted you and said, "I'm worried you're about to make a janky mistake," and you didn't.
It stuck. My brain said I better listen to Chris.
No, it did
Wow.
not.
It did.
I
So-
do
all right,
love
so-
that now. Not only is janky a noun, like it's a piece of jank, but now it is an adverb modifying a verb. So you're about to make a janky decision.
And there's like janky good and janky bad, and
Yeah.
these were just a little too janky for me. Like,
Yeah, wow. I
Yeah.
feel like you're really making progress here, Jeff. This is
thanks.
You're like a tiny adult.
So
Like-
I came tiny adult. I wish I was tiny. So I began surfing for Chinese knockoff scooters, and that's probably where I'm going to go.
And then you went back and bought the Malibu.
No.
No, I hope not. Okay, I'm gonna go. Are you done, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm done.
Mine is so boring. We're back to normal life. We stayed home this weekend. We brought 8 5-gallon jugs of oil, used oil, back to Walmart. Woo!
or
Take
10
my
1-gallon jugs, but okay. A little difference.
Oh,
Five,
a lot.
5 gallons. 5 gallons is a big pail,
Quarts.
right?
No, they're quarts. Okay,
we didn't
sorry.
we
Whatever.
didn't bring 40 gallons of oil back to Walmart
Why didn't you
That would be
fix
like-
the damn notes?
because I didn't
Screw
see
you,
it
evil
until now.
corporation.
Because here's the thing, I've
Here's a drum.
because I keep 2 of the big 5-gallon, the ones of the T6 when I find it,
Quarts.
and I don't take them back till I'm full. No, I get the giant, the
Oh,
$60 ones.
Oh.
Of-
Whatever. Okay,
of
fine.
T6.
We brought oil back to Walmart. I
Lots.
cleaned everything in the house, had the fam over, made lots of food. Now I'm bye. Mic
Including-
drop. Go.
We made lobster mac and cheese.
You're not
going to
say what you made because I'm reading that in the notes.
Yes, I made
Yeah.
lobster mac and
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
and soup
Nice.
Yeah.
because we have lots of lobster left over, so made that.
There you go,
Yeah.
Chris.
Chris.
I worked in the MGA, which is the first time I've been able to say that in years. I glued in some carpet that had fallen off. I'm cleaning up dirt and mildew. I rebuilt the rear drum brakes almost entirely. So I'm just all those little things that need to get done in order to sell it. Yes, Jeff.
I thought I was the only one who knew how to do drum brakes. How come every time we have drum brakes to do in the race car, I'm the one that gets to do it? They're like, Jeff, do the drums. You're the only one.
Because you're
And
better.
now I hear you have
No,
this skill.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
upset.
Oh,
the
he
brakes-
has the skill.
the drum brakes in the
I
MGA.
I have no skill. I've never done drum brakes. I don't know what they're talking about. It's always going to be you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Ever.
The drum brakes in the MG are super simple. It's actually just a wheel cylinder and a screw cam actuator or like adjuster thing. And there's one spring. There's 2 springs on the 2 shoes, and that's it. There's no star wheel. There's no through the back plate. There's no extra screws. There's no extra. It's actually fairly simple. I still hate it, but
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, no one ever goes, you know what I love?
Drums.
Drum brakes. Root canals and drum brakes.
at least this car has disc brake fronts, which I'll give it. For 1960, that was pretty good. So
Cutting edge.
Yeah. That
So,
52 TD is drums all around.
you bet it is. It was drums all around until 59 when the 1600 came out. If you want to MG geek out here, which I'm sure no one else wants to, so we'll keep moving.
Twin cam, that's the way to go.
Well, yeah,
Why
those
do
are-
you not have a twill cap on while you're saying these things?
Oh, twin cap. I
Sorry.
got one.
My stringback driving
and the
gloves
key
are
thing
around
that
somewhere. Right.
And the key thing to take from that, listeners, is when this car goes up on Bring a Trailer, understand that this man knows his MGs.
There you go.
True.
Well, I
They're
have
probably
owned this car
the buyer is
since I
not
was-
going to be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shh, you don't know that.
I just owned this car since I was 15, so it's been around a while. So. And the previous
Cool. What
car
else you
was-
doing?
That's it. Working a lot because I'm changing jobs at the end of the week at work, and so I have to finish all of the things that I'm doing at my current job, and I'm starting to learn my new job already, and it's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't want us to burn pod talking about that, but I'm actually interested in hearing what you're going to do now. Are you the new diversity manager?
He was already.
No,
done.
I was already that, but not kidding. It was great. And I am going to run a team of people in our inside appraisal hub. So the people that work for me will review estimates provided by body shops, and I get to then see if they're doing enough of them and if they're accurate. Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, at least we got to check off the Chris talks
Chris
about
talks about-
insurance.
Hey,
We have
mental,
to give out the
mental
bingo
asked.
card.
Mental,
On the
asked.
I did say not during the pod.
Mental, what do you think about the military?
I got 2. Mental. That's what you're working on so we can get to Mr. Rude.
Jeff,
Did
how's the
my drive-
Citroen paperwork?
Did drive strong on Sunday, and I am pleased to announce that all three of my students were terrible at texting and driving, and one actually did try to kill me. But actually, we had a lot of fun. They were a great bunch. Go-kart league Thursday against Mike Whitey. That was a lot more bumpy than it normally is, but he was hysterical. Had our rained-out homecoming parade, and this after I gave my cadets cans of spray paint and said, "Go to town on the trailer," because I was going to tow them on the janky-ass half magic trailer for the homecoming parade. It looks worse now. It's great.
I don't think that's possible.
Well, I know. And I told Vicky, I'm like, hey, I need to borrow your truck because I'm going to tow the cadets for the parade. And she goes, on what? I go, on the trailer. She goes, oh, I thought you liked those kids. And just today I ended up in the doghouse because our old Babe rally buddies, Matt and Neil, along with Jim, have now given me a 1952 Plymouth Cranbook.
What?
Yeah.
Wasn't that car buried and sandy and like never worked right? And
they drove it.
He didn't know anything about that until now. That's
they drove it into their spot. It needs a carb rebuild and the tank flushed, and they say it runs.
How's the champ doing? Or the chump?
And what are you going to do with it?
I just have to say that
actually, I'll tell you that
I'm amazed that I have not heard about this Cranbook already from the wives of Lemons / Jen texting with your wife.
Yeah, and luckily neither one of them listened because I knew about this whole bike decision before you.
I know she said she was sending it to you. I just have a question about the Drive Strong. If you need more help teaching them how to text and drive, why didn't you call me?
Because that's the point. We always tell.
I just did that to watch Chrissy roll her eyes. She can go on. You don't have to answer.
We always tell the parents if they hit a bunch of cones, they should not be worried. That means their child is terrible at texting and driving. It's when they actually manage to get their way safely around the course that they've been doing it too much.
Oh, got it. Why don't you introduce our guest there?
Our guest needs no introduction, but we're going to do it anyway. His Twitter profile states that he is a freelance auto writer, a motorsports geek, a White Sox fan, Jeff, because they're in Chicago,
Whatevs.
a statistics nut, which actually I do remember because you're the first guy that ever started handicapping these races. You writes a lot about the 24 Hours of Lemons because he's awesome, and Hot Rod Drag Week, which we're going to talk to him later about. You may know him as the former host of the DFL podcast, but most importantly here, he is and will always be guest number one. Eric Rood, how's your wagon?
Thank you for going right to the soft underbelly on that. It still does not run. I think it needs an ECU, which is waiting for me to pick up from somebody we'll talk about later in the show. And he lives like 2 miles from my house. So
why don't you remind our listeners what is up with your wagon?
It will not idle, and I think it's either a wiring problem or a bad GM ECU from the 1980s, which is equal parts likelihood. Based on our
probably both, really.
Based on our pre-show discussions of how we make them the quality cat from GM,
Yeah.
So that's not been working very well. But I did fix my Focus, my daily driver.
What was the problem with that? You had a rusty hub on that?
The whole front suspension. It had a rusty hub. God damn it. The irony was so palpable.
The irony.
For those of you listening at home, Eric used to run a website called The Rusty Hub.
And my Twitter and
Twitter
Instagram
is still at The Rusty Hub. Yeah.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't twit.
Yeah, shouldn't. It's terrible. Won't go too far into the Twitter world, but anyway, lately I've been working on Lemons crap. We just got the 2019 schedule out, which we'll talk about, and one of the other things we've been working on really hard for the last couple months is the Captain's Toolkit, which
I did see that. That is awesome.
Tell us more.
It's basically a resource. The original intention was kind of for any captain to be able to kind of have a set of resources to help them get ready for races, but it kind of turned into walk the noobs through their first race and how to get there with kind of checklists, basically going down how to register and what the deadlines are, and then things you really need to work on, pass tech, and then kind of these are the things you need to do on a race weekend, like once you get there, like unload the trailer without being a dick, stuff like that. So,
those are important, though.
bring your
Yeah.
driver's license.
Stuff
get
you've
there.
actually seen happen.
Yeah.
You know, hey, yeah. How about you not be a dick, dude?
Yeah, remember to renew your driver's license
Before you get there.
Before you leave Illinois.
before you leave Illinois. Yeah, and then we also have kind of some resources on how to find cars and how to find teammates, which we're kind of going to expand over time. And general information of like, hey, we have an actual WTF page that's been on the Lemons website for like years that nobody's ever looked at. So we kind of put that out there in the front. So.
Hey, back off. That's half of our show.
Yeah.
So we just put that out. That just went live last Thursday. And there should be a mass email going out tomorrow morning. So
Cool. And any chance one of those is like listen to Everyone Racers podcast? No, probably not.
That's in
How
what
about
not
in the
not
small
to do.
print?
Jeff. What not
Yeah.
to do.
Not to do. Not to do. You're right.
yeah. You should just spam it all over the I shouldn't say that.
No.
I shouldn't say that. That is not a thing I should say.
We do our best not to spam the forums. Let's do news and notes. Who's got something?
You do.
I do. I'm the only one who put news and notes in.
Uh-huh.
In
Yes,
case-
the only one.
In case you missed it, Amazon will officially break into your car if you let them. They have announced that they are now doing trunk delivery. So if you have a car that's on the GM internet and you can pop your trunk through the internet, they'll come to your house. They'll push a button. Your trunk will open. They'll put your packages in your trunk and close it and walk away. And they promise not to steal anything. So that's a bonus.
Do you have to put like a notice of trunk monkey if that's a thing that you have?
I would think. I don't know. Like
Can
they
you wear
have
a
a-
monkey? Yeah.
they have a video of it, and it shows like a nice clean cut driver coming up and like tapping on their smart device, and all of a sudden the trunk opens, he puts package in and closes it, and he kind of like goes away, and then they come home from wherever they are and they open their trunk and they say, if you went somewhere, why didn't you take your car? There seems to be a flaw in this. I don't know. Don't touch my car, Amazon. That's all I'm saying.
They don't want to, Jeff. Trust me.
Just saying. So this is from a Jalopnik article, but it's got a lot of other references in it. Alfa Romeo might not be the best at building a reliable four-door supercar. So car and drivers long-term Julia Quadrifoglio pronunciation check.
Quadrifoglio, of course.
Whatever.
Quadrifoglio, yes.
Ratio. The 4 times blowjob had a whiny differential at 10,000 miles. This is their long term. They try and do 30,000 miles testing this. A series of check engine lights. They've had the car for 5 months. It has spent a month at the dealership. Jalopnik, Consumer Reports, Road and Track, and Motor Trend all had issues with their short-term tests when they were trying to write their articles. So yeah, maybe not that great.
So if you want a four-door supercar, top tip, stick with an AMG Mercedes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
The
Did you
internet.
get that one I sent you, by the way? It sold for like 21,000.
It wasn't even an AMG. That was just an S600.
V12. All right.
It's
Who the hell was
not
that?
AMG.
Pleb.
Fair enough.
Lame. Right.
Last part of the Alpha story, the non-quads seem to be doing great, so buy the crappy one.
And Jeff, I'm a little disappointed. I sent you Elon Musk news, and it didn't make it into news and notes.
Oh, I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
It's in the text message.
The fact that the SEC is investigating him for all kinds of things now after he's getting high and sending out tweets and.
They said that they're having massive delivery problems. So to solve their delivery problems, the Model 3, Tesla is now in the business of building auto transporters with all the spare manufacturing space and labor that
they have. Yeah.
That's
step A, if you're trying to revolutionize the car world, don't smoke pot and tweet crazy things. Step B, don't try and build them at the NUMMI plant.
I don't know. Step 1, maybe it's kind of helped. No, dude.
Counterpoint.
We got to have both of the rockets land at the same time. No, dude. Just
hey, shh, Twinkie boy,
collar,
let Riz
man.
talk.
No, he pretty much got it. I was going to say the counterpoint is if you're trying to revolutionize the car industry, only smoke pot and tweet weird shit.
Don't forget to launch your personal car into space.
Okay,
Yes.
let's move on. Let's talk
So,
races that already happened, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
Yeah.
already happened. So Champ Car, the Marathon Coach Sebring 14-hour result, decidedly BMW free. Odd. The highest finishing non-exemption car, BMW, was in 14th. So Class A had 2 Miatas and a Mini Cooper. Class B was 2 ARC-7 separated by a Prelude. Class C, 2 Lexus SC300 separated by 944. Class D, Thunderbird.
Jay-Z.
Two
No
JZ,
shit.
yo.
What? You didn't raise your hand. I'm just kidding. Class D had a Thunderbird, Camaro, and an Infiniti. Friend and listener John Artman and the Never Start Racing Neon finished 80th overall. Woo! 39 laps. After clutch issues with along with a rusted RV brake line leaving his driveway. He had this to say: "It could have been much worse. My wallet and liver took the brunt of it, along with the new fire ants biting from wrenching in the grass." So sad.
That sounds like a Jeff weekend.
Now, in addition, the World Racing League folks had their Yokohama GP September 22nd, 23rd up at Mid-Ohio. And Saturday was an all BMW podium. Boring! So first was Wrath Performance in their 2003 BMW. R&R took up second with a 2008 BMW, and the ironically hipster named 12 and the number 12 BMW M235i got third. Sunday was a bit different because the boys from Saline, GRM contributors, had their 2011 Porsche, got 283 laps, and then Ricky Sanders Racing, he does the pitboxes.com, with our friend Andrew Pinky Pinkerton, and their 2016 Elan got 276 laps. Saturday they were no Elan, the little modular Mazda prototype, mini prototype.
DP01.
Oh,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. And third was the RAV Performance BMW after they got beat by the Porsche and the things. But our listeners and friend, Brent Sloman in the Apocalypse Racing Ecotech powered Celica got 11th overall and third in GP2 on Saturday. And then unfortunately 18th overall on Sunday. And we'll talk about why later on.
That's good.
And unfortunately, the coolest race of the year, the Lucky Dog Streets of Ensenada and Baja, had to be canceled. I'm sure something Mexico related. Who knows? Just as a wild guess.
Are you telling me there might be problems racing on the streets in Mexico?
Only when the donkey pulling the cart of mangoes walks out in front of you. But
Oranges.
yeah, close enough. I've had lovely street mangoes in that part of Mexico. They're great. But anyway, we're gonna have Kathy back next week to talk about it, as well as who won our contest for a free entry, and Flocktoberfest, and anything else she wants to talk about. Yeah, Jeff.
I just want to mention to our guest Eric Rood that although you are our first guest, you are losing some traction to Kathy. She gave away an entry and gave us a free ride at a race.
No.
Not just any race.
Not just any race. At
Laguna
Seca.
Okay.
So you should step it up.
Eric's like, I don't know what you want from me here.
I'm like, go ahead. Well, wait. So why don't you
like,
go
I'm
talk
going to
to
go
your,
back to renting on my wagon. You can come help. That's it.
Yeah.
go talk to your boy Jay there and say like, oh, well, all the other good races are giving away like good stuff on this crappy podcast. We should step it up.
I think we already know what Jay's answer is.
You're really overselling it when you say he's giving away free stuff on this crappy podcast. That's a great sell to Jay. He's going to be all about that.
Yeah.
Look, tell him we got like 45 listeners, so.
Oh, man.
And
No.
Only
most
5 of
already
them
run.
have Chris's last name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
most
so
of them do
this
run.
weekend, I'm going to keep moving and save my soul. This weekend, World Racing League is at NOLA for their Southeast Championship, as well as their Super Miata Shootout, which they are limiting to just 50 cars. So NOLA with 50 cars, that's going to be awesome. The list isn't available, but anyone from WRL wants to email us, let us know. Also this weekend in the land of burritos and puffalumps and Porsches that don't work, Champ Car is at Harris Hill in Texas for a double 8 Saturday and Sunday.
Now, our special guest, Eric Rood, has gotten the entry list for this weekend's Lemons at Buttonwillow, and the email was so aptly titled, Entering the Butt. I love that.
Nice.
And given that it's over 120 cars, we're going to try something new, and it's called the good, the bad, and the funny. But before we start, Eric, you actually mentioned there is a wonderful trolling effort going on and tied into this race.
Yeah, it requires a tiny bit of background, but I'll be quick here.
Go for it.
It's okay. This is working.
At the beginning of the year, Concours de Lemons announced their featured marquee this year was the Cadillac Alante.
Yes.
And
Star
naturally,
of Tango and Cash.
I didn't know that. Anyway, the guy who runs Concours de Lemons, Alan Galbraith, reached out to the Alante Owners Club to let them know that this was going on, and maybe they'd like to bring their cars out. And instead, he got just piles of hate mail from them.
He angered the Alante Jihad.
Yes, because of course we all know that a car that cost $60,000 but was still a GM product in 1988 it could not possibly be a terrible car. So this weekend, Corey Dickman, famously of Panting Polar Bear Racing and Ranwood Parked, has found a $500 Alante.
Yes, he has.
It is a legit $500 car, and it is going to be pretty great. And they're going to be basically in full trolling mode the entire weekend. So
Nice.
If we'd ever won overall with the Civic, the Alante was on the short list of going back to our Class C roots for something terrible. So, yeah. Oh well,
Still could be.
Corey did it for us, and we'll have
Corey
to find
got it
something
for us,
else
too.
terrible.
Still looking for that Zimmer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, who's doing the good?
I'll do the good.
It's going to be great.
So these are the good. Some strong running teams, they actually have a chance to potentially not fail too badly. So Cerveza has always got to be on the list, and West Coast, they know how to do this. It's amazing. Hella Shitty with their E30, they run a good show. Alfa Romeo Syndicate Excelente B. It's an 86 BMW Milano. So I don't know if they're just expanding with a BMW in addition to their Alfa. Eric does, though.
It's a 5 Series, yeah.
It's a 5 Series. Well, that's more lame than I expected. But they're good drivers, and they're going to do fine. And that Alfa had been around for like 40 races, and it was literally tearing apart at the seams. So
Yeah.
You're thinking of two different ones. This one got wrecked at Sonoma. It was this was a GTV6 that they had. It was a sad day for all of us.
Yeah.
That was still sad too.
I just say any team that can successfully race an Alpha, BMW's got to be a walk in the park. They're like, oh, wait a minute, this thing works. Okay, here we go. What do we do now?
I could get parts.
Yeah.
So then there's Black Iron Racing with their RV themed E36, which is the only way to run an E36 is make it look like an RV or a garbage truck or something completely stupid. That's the way to go. Petty Cash has got the Comanche out, or potentially this BMW, which it's boring. We'll talk about the Comanche because that's way more fun. Comanche's way better. So Bernal Daz has got a new Volvo wagon. They hella butt crashed their old one, so this one, let's see how this works. Because otherwise they know what they're doing. Anton's going to be there with his Volvo 544. Well done, Anton. He's going to drive the wheels off whatever he's in. That's always good. There we go. And, hey, Nine Finger Drifters with GDO, man, and their Corolla wagon. That thing is just but terrible. This doesn't belong in this list at all. So
No, not even a little bit.
No.
I just hope
Who
the
made this
differential
list?
stays together. They had the greatest differential failure. We talked about that a couple of shows ago. Yeah. I'll do the bad. We're stunned these things are even there. They're probably not going to survive. We already mentioned Randwell Parked. The Alante. There's an 84 C4 Corvette learning to turn. There's a 77 Lancia Scorpion. The McDad's A Fart Racing.
I love
That thing's
Eric's
so
head
bad.
right now.
Great.
Eric just nope.
That was a car that Spank had and was like, I really don't want to work on this. It's
wow.
now. Yeah.
That's kind of
Too
amazing.
terrible for Spank.
Yep.
Wow. Has Spank ever done anything Italian? I know he usually sticks to the British stuff. So
I don't think he has, no.
No, he likes the Brits, the French, and the Eastern European.
French and the Brits, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Space Cowboys 2000 Chevy Daewoo Aveo. I think that's a 3-cylinder, isn't it?
No, it's a 4.
No.
It's a 4.
And
It
then
just
this
might as well
okay.
be a 3.
And then the Devil Went Down to Lemons in a 67 Mini Moke, I assume.
My favorite car.
That is
That's
Spank and the boys. So I really just wanted to mention the Devil Went Down to Lemons because that means they are doing a great theme, and I can't wait to see it.
Spank always does good themes.
Uh-huh.
And he has great cars. Okay, I got the funny, the teams that get it. So my favorite, safety third, Kim Jong Elantra with her Elantra. The Boiling Hassenpfeffers.
Hassenpfeffer.
Yes, GTI. The Westboro Fastest Church, Opel Cadet. Thunder, Thundercat, meow, to a BMW and a Thunderbird. Sumo Westward Racing Team, that's a Camry. Liam Neeson.
Sumo Westward Racing Team.
only a little racist. It's great.
Not at all.
Liam Neeson and the Hazard Fraught Fools with their 200 SX, and the Petty Blue Beep Beep Team with a Miata. We'll see how they do. We'll check in next week. We'll find out.
If you want to drive a car that's much better than any of those, but probably much less fun actually than many of them. Hey, Extreme Experience will put you in the driver's seat of some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks in America and Canada with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to xxspeed.com to choose your supercar, find a track, and start making a story of your own. They've got 7 models of exotic cars to choose from, 20 tracks in a year-long location in Nolans. A pro instructor like Mental, Jeff, or me in the car with you, helping you explore the car's limits and learn to drive the racing line. Save 25% when you use the code EverOneRacers, no spaces, at xxspeed.com to book today. Extreme Experience, it's your turn.
We are also very excited to remind our listeners that Everyone Racers is the official media partner of the second annual Flocktoberfest, which is an epic gathering of road course endurance racing enthusiasts who love to drive really cheap race cars at really cool racetracks.
So if you're out there and you're a budget racer, whether you're 24 Hours of Lemons, Lucky Dog, Champ Car, WRL, AER, NASA, SCCA, whatever you race, BMW Club, whatever, this is your chance to attend North America's first and only largest endurance racing meetup of its kind. Well, at least the only one at the Exotic Chicken Ranch, that is. And by the way, that's actual chickens. All of you who wrote in and asked for what was on the menu from the ladies, you're wrong. What? Actual Chicken Ranch. Second annual Flocktoberfest will happen Saturday, October 6th, 2018. 1 to 6 is the event, but there's partying and camping all night long at Faster Farms in Oakley, California, rain or shine.
There is free parking, but chickens are going to be around, so make sure you watch out for them and their eggs. Get discounted tickets for now. Kids under 16 are free. Do it for 18. Overnight camping. Space is limited. Must reserve online. RV campers self-contained. No hookups. Blah, blah, blah. Bring your own stuff. Don't dump it on their lawn. Go.
Yep.
No fires.
Yeah, fires are bad, okay? California is mostly burned. Hey, ID required to receive an alcohol okay wristbands. No exceptions. That's always necessary. Event shirts, hoodies, and all sorts of various other swag is available for purchase at the event. That event proceeds benefit the local Brentwood 4-H Club to support future chicken ranchers of tomorrow, because we need at least a couple. And if you got questions or anything else, email them to info@Flocktoberfest. What?
No, the what?
Someone typed this poorly. Let's call it Flocktoberfest, and it's going to be a link in the show notes. And there's an Eventbrite. I'll put that link there, too. So that'll all be there. Perfect. And
Oktoberfest. Yes.
Blue, that's you.
Hey, folks, let's not forget that our favorite top dog, Kathy, she is giving away an entry to a free Lucky Dog race to
Are
one
you
listener.
listening, Rude?
Rude's listening. It's Jay who doesn't care. All right. Yeah. So we just go to bit.ly. That's BLT or BITLY/ everyone lucky, all one word, capital E, capital L. And the link's in the show notes. Winner is going to be announced on October 1st, or as we like to say, next week. Folks, this is your last chance.
Okay, let's go to listener feedback.
Listener feedback.
Okay, so Chris was working.
That
Wow.
was very exciting.
I guess I'm the only one excited.
That was a good one.
All right.
Ooh, okay, that's great.
Handshake and everything. That was good. Plus, because you keep pouring. you keep pouring your drinks. So that's why you're so excited. Right?
The bottle's empty now, so
Yeah, I
we
know.
can only get so much. So Chris was working on his soon-to-be MGA for sale, and it was it's soon to be on Bring a Trailer. And I asked what you're working on. So we had a couple of people that are answered. Aaron, the Wartburger / cookie thief, started filling with the 1/4 million mile WRX that he got from the Wakemans. Mr. Rizivi, sorry I botched your name, was going on to Tajamal. Yes. Oh, okay, yes. Was going to order a clutch and coolant, but decided, and somebody else went on a shopping spree with their credit card, and I answered, was it somebody you know, like your wife or girlfriend or spouse or something? And he was like, no, some random dude in Florida. So
A Florida man. It's always a Florida man.
It is always a Florida man. Michael K was getting his Mark Jetta 3 aligned when and shifter linkage tweaked since the new. Oh, this is all kinds of boring Jetta stuff. Sorry, that's
Things that happen in Volkswagens, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing, he had to tear his clothes washer down for spare parts.
Yeah, that works. So Mark Furman spent a few hours rebuilding the brakes on his Fiat Spider
And planting evidence on OJ's house.
Man.
Just keep going. Ignore
good.
me.
Matt Adair was cleaning out. Matt Adair was cleaning out the frunk of Kevin Miller's new 986, and it turns out there's a small child fits in there. And then Kevin Miller pointed out that two smaller ones can actually fit.
So yeah, Matt actually just sold his very clean NA Miata because he no longer needs it because he just bought a Boxster of ill repute. And he mentioned that the NA Miata sale was 80% the price of the new to him Boxster. And that is math I can get behind.
So hang on, Jeff. You sold yours to your dad for $0.
Yeah.
So if we create an algebraic formula, X
That's
times
good because he's a math teacher.
Right. X times 0.8 equals 0. So therefore, free Boxster.
Free Boxster.
Nobody wants a free Boxster.
Yes.
Brett Sloman was working on the usual broke ass car. It's still podium this weekend. Fantastic. He's posted a bunch of pictures of his car on our Facebook. And poor Albert Wenzel had a tree removed that fell on his house.
That's awesome.
That's
You know what
a
else is
shame.
awesome? Chrissy's mom. We said hi. Hi, Chrissy's mom. I already harassed Eric, so we can go right to the main topic. Cool cars,
Okay.
cool races, Ridge, Gingerman. Who wants to start?
Well, because Eric sent us that link to the rolls, the awesome rolls. Tell us a little bit about that rolls, Eric. The Rolls Royce you sent
The
on
Viper
Instagram?
powered Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Okay.
No matter what, if someone's doing
No
this
matter-
to a Rolls,
My-
that's the only way you can do it to the Rolls and
My-
actually do anything with it is because you have to rip out all of the factory suspension and
Yeah.
all of the factory brakes. And to make any of this work, you have to take all of the dash, all of the heating components, all of that stuff out and just start over. And just have like a body shell and some control arms and like a diff. There you go. That's how you start to make a good car out of a Rolls Royce. So
Pretty
if someone's
much,
putting a Viper motor in it, all the better. But the only thing that's good in that car is the motor. That's it. But everything else around it is terrible.
Eric, do you
Pretty
know
much.
these people?
He raced once, and Lemons was like, "Well, I guess I'm just going to build this crazy thing now."
Yeah.
It's entirely too drastic for Lemons. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Oh no,
It's-
that's a troll machine right there.
It's still going to be terrible.
Oh,
He-
awful.
He's never built anything like this at all, so he's like learning as he goes. So I'm curious to see what happens.
Well, I mean,
I love him already.
if you really don't know anything, a Viper motor is not a bad choice because there's not a lot that can go wrong with it.
Yeah,
It's
a
kinda
big
like-
push rod thing.
It's a big
yeah.
push rod. It has like a normal transmission. There's like barely any computers on it. There's no anything. So if you want to check them out on Instagram, it's Rolls Doesn't Care, at Rolls Doesn't Care. I IG'd them and posted a picture of our Rolls and told them like haha, you're second, and I want to mention to our social media guru Mental that according to Instagram, my post is performing better than 85% of the recent posts.
Yes, you bonehead, because Facebook bought Instagram 2 years ago, you Luddite. All posts perform 85% better because they want you to pay $5 to promote it. Yes.
Sure.
Wow.
I didn't even know how to use the Instagram app. I had to bring it over to one of my coworkers and was like, "Where do I log in?"
What?
I was logged in as Jeff Wake, and I was like, "I need to log in as Everyone Racers. How the hell do I do it?" So she had to walk me through.
Did I also hear there's going to be a Chrysler TC by Maserati coming up at Gingerman?
Hell yeah, there is.
Oh, now do we know? Is it the Mitsubishi V6 or the Chrysler?
That'll be a first.
All right.
It is the 4-cylinder. Yeah.
Oh, so it's the actual Chrysler Turbo engine, but it's actual. That's fantastic.
Flip or not? Okay.
The guy said they're great motors. It'll be fine.
Yes, because everyone we know with one of those has really succeeded. So.
I don't know. I don't know. Like the K car actually ran on the V6, didn't it?
No,
kind of.
But that's the one that almost killed Doug.
I know, but it actually went around
narrow
the
it
track.
down much.
It doesn't. That thing is Lada. There was a Lada, Nivea.
There's going to be a lot of Neva at the Ridge, which is the 4x4. It looks
the little box thing. It's like
cheapish.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not cheapish. It's like Yugo-ish with big freaking tires.
If Yugo built a Jeep, yes.
If a Yugo got entered in the Gambler 500, it would look like a Lada.
So if the first time that thing goes through the corkscrew, it's going to be on its roof.
Probably.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
All right.
The good news is that you'll just be able to bang everything out with a hammer and start over again because it's a Russian-built car. Yeah.
There you go.
Soviet Russia, car hammer you.
That's right. How this isn't in Sasha's hands, I don't know, because he's really the only guy who could
because it's not on the East Coast.
Not in Nissan.
Like put his hands on it and commune with the Sovietness.
The laying of hands upon, yes.
Exactly.
Sasha's the Nissan whisperer.
Exactly. Anything else about Ringe and Gingerman before we move on to Drag Week?
It's going to be the first time we ever do 2 races in a weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then we're
Phil
doing it.
And Gingerman, the Get Your Fill and the Gingerman.
No, it's
no. Oh,
it smells like AMC Spirit in Seattle, along with where the elite meet to cheat. And then the next weekend we're doing it again with the Get Your Fill and with Halloween Hoopty Fest, which are actually going to be our 200th races. Not really going to separate it, but we had big plans to do something for that, and then we kind of
forgot
about it.
Had some lunch, and that was it.
Ask us about our 1-year anniversary show.
Yeah.
What
is it this one?
No, it's a while ago. We forgot.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were getting two of them were getting married, so
yeah, it's fine.
So
which I totally forgot about that. Congratulations, guys.
Oh, thanks. It was great.
Drag Week, Eric. I didn't know you dressed in drag. What's your drag name?
A dress. I don't know.
This from a guy who had a Facebook profile that said, when you did the Gilligan's Island, Jeff, you had the drawn-on tattoo.
Yes. Thurston is my bitch. I was going to give you a suggestion. You go with Dixie Normus, or you're not a tall guy, because I was going to say Jenna Tall, but it doesn't work that way. Anyway, these are drag queens I actually know.
Excellent. That's excellent.
So the other
I just wanted to talk really briefly about Hot Rod Drag Week, which is 5 days of drag racing at 4 different drag strips. You start at the same one you end at, and you got to drive your car on the street in between. And these are cars that drive like 9, they're like 8, 9, 7, 6 second cars, which is unreal.
It's crazy that they drive these things in the street.
Yeah.
Tires?
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them run a drag radio all week. And it was kind of pouring rain on a couple
Wow.
of days. So
Yeah, I've heard just crazy stories from this event.
yeah,
I love watching the roadkill videos of Drag Week because these guys are they are beyond hardcore.
Yeah.
105 degrees, and they're strapped into a car with no airflow, into a containment seat and a roll cage to drive 300 miles and get gas every 50 miles.
Yeah. The torture of this is not drag racing a street car. It's street driving a drag car.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, Jeff Lutz won a couple years ago in an actual pro mod car, which is like they usually run 580s now. That's 5.8
insane.
seconds and a quarter mile.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a purpose built car. It was an actual pro mod car that, he converted into a street car.
He like cut the fiberglass body and threw lights in it. Like,
I mean, no, he did that. He did that.
he like
yeah.
headlights and taillights and like said, let's go.
Yep, pretty much. Which is nuts.
He had a trailer for his enormous balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you do that and you don't sleep either because you can't drive that in traffic. So what he would do is he'd wait till dark basically, and so there wouldn't be traffic, and you just drive in the middle of the night. So he'd take like a 2-hour nap after he'd made his pass for the day and start after that, which is crazy. But I don't know. Look, it's hardcore, and the cars are much higher performance than what we're used to. But with the whole notion of the roadside fixes, these crazy impromptu repairs, all that stuff. Chris?
Can you incorporate this into a Lemons Rally in the future? Like actually show up at some drag strips, require everyone make a pass and keep going.
The thought has crossed my mind. And I'll say that. I don't know how to do it logistically, but
this comes from a guy who blew up his crap can rally car at a drag strip at a Lemons event in New Orleans, and then had to leave it in a parking lot of a hotel in Louisiana with the keys in it and hitch a ride home with my friends because I took two drag passes in a Fiero.
Yeah.
Well, it was a Fiero. That's the start problem.
If you'd have been smart, you'd have traded it for beer.
Hey,
Connie almost survived that event. I did, but Connie did.
Yeah.
Eric, are you doing this for like some sort of writing exercise, or is this like just like you enjoying it?
I worked for Hot Rod in 2015, covering it, and then it's kind of like one of those things that it's like somebody handing you a fucking needle full of heroin and you just shoot it deep. Like this crazy addiction of like the super cool part of motorsports, and like Lemons, the best part is there's these crazy bonds of friendship because you're the only weirdos doing this thing.
Yeah.
And you'll never explain it to your coworkers, like in the office, like, oh yeah, I was just driving my 2,000 horsepower car around on the street for a week. It's not a big deal.
Your office is Lemon's office, so they probably get it, but most other people,
Yeah, my work, they're not getting that one. We had an extended conversation on breastfeeding in my last professional learning conference.
Well, yeah, we're all not the normies, so
we do that in the Lemon's office too, but it's a little different.
Can we please have one video where we don't say breastfeeding?
Let's keep moving. Root Sucky Suck. How did that go?
It hasn't gone yet.
No. That's a promotion for the future, Jeff. Come on, read your notes.
What was the one that ended at the
car show,
California? Yeah,
Monterey. The car.
Monterey. Yeah, we heard like somebody went to Mexico.
We covered this, Jeff. We actually mentioned it on this show.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Eric sent us the notes on that one. But actually, give us some insight on that one because that was a good one.
Man. I did not prepare for that.
Taxing his brain. No.
All right, forget it. You don't have to tell us.
There's a bunch of Swedish stuff.
Talk about your plans for going on the Route 66 rally with only hitchhiking. So you're obviously going to wear some really short shorts and a belly shirt, and that'll work.
Genital will be my persona for that one. So Route 66, we're calling it the Route Sucky Suck Rally, which works totally well with the genital thing.
It helps you get another ride.
Yeah, exactly. It's all of Route 66 from Chicago all the way to Santa Monica over 6 days.
That's a lot of miles.
It is going to be a lot of miles. I'm not taking a car. My plan is to hitchhike with people who have room to let me ride basically for a day or half a day or whatever. And then, take photos and shoot video of people doing rally stuff. Because I don't know if we've really captured the experience in the best way yet. So I'm going to go live it, basically, is how that's going to happen. So
how does one capture the just gritty, sweaty sense of failure and accomplishment all at the same time that you get from running these?
I've been covering Lemons for about 6 years at this point. I feel like I'm pretty good at covering that.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's a different kind of grit.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
It's a
understands it.
traveling grit instead of a paddock grit. So,
Yeah, it's the boredom, the miles ticking away, the driver with the fingers clenched around the steering wheel because there's a weird noise for the last 380 miles. That kind of thing. I
Sounds about right.
feel like
Not
I
like
can get that.
Get towed off the track and be like, oh crap, it's a bearing.
Well, that's-
Yeah.
put it on the trailer.
right. And you have all your tools with you, and you have an RV and all these nice things. It's so luxurious
welder.
being at the track.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to go take a shower, and then I'm going to come back and figure out how to fix this car.
You guys take showers? That's weird.
Only mental.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, we just go in the hot tub.
Yeah.
That's why I get in first.
Well played. Well played.
There's
But
no
I'm
way.
looking forward to the rally.
Yeah, there's no way you're not going to have a good time and get a lot of good stories out of
Yeah.
that ridiculousness. So, well done.
Unless the car breaks down in West Texas and we get murdered. There's that too.
Well, the best part is if something breaks down really badly, you just jump to another car.
That's it.
You're like, peace,
I am-
yo.
I
I'm
am
getting in that one.
it
media.
officially
I have
becomes
to
not
go.
my problem. Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah, so what's his name? Brett. The one that rode with you in the soul
Brett
sucking.
Burke.
Brett
Yeah.
Burke. Yeah.
He just drank bourbon every time the car broke.
He
So-
did. The first time he broke down, he was like, wait, I have to get some bourbon. And then he started drinking, and then it was all over.
All right. So
that
we
right?
we
Get
have
my
this,
notebook out here.
we have this rather extensive list of tracks, and before we get into that, we talked about when we emailed you last week. Hey, come on the show because there's a lot of cool lemon stuff going on. So we got the new schedule out, but we figured CMP being canceled because of Hurricane Florence, and then all the people whining about garages in New Hampshire. Let's hear about that. What makes your life really seriously, dude? You think I care about you not getting the garage you want? Team Audi?
Yeah. That all falls on Nick, and I will tell you that Nick's favorite thing in the world is getting emails about garage spaces
Garages.
and RV reservations.
Is that when the
but-
robot arms really show up?
Oh my God, man! No,
You're just giving us new theme ideas.
yeah. That's the robot arms with the middle fingers at the end.
Done. Note this.
Yeah. But people were pretty cool about the CMP thing. I think most people just didn't want to be part of that if it went bad, and I don't think it would have gone particularly great had we done it. So.
Yeah, it would have flooded the poisonous snake pond, and then they would have been like Sharknado, but snake flood.
Well, the good thing is,
Flutto.
if the power went out at CMP, nobody would really notice
There wasn't any.
because there's no power on a regular day.
The two street lights wouldn't be on. I think there's two. Maybe there's three in the whole parking lot.
We'd
My
be over there
biggest-
resetting the breaker again. Come on.
My biggest disappointment is I still haven't been to CMP, and I won't get to go because it overlaps with the rally now.
You're not missing much.
not missing
really.
much.
No,
Middle
play.
of nowhere.
it's sandy,
No
it's
cell phone.
dusty, and it sucks.
The track is made up of 36 grit sandpaper and cheese graters, basically.
Have you guys been to Buttonwillow? I feel like you haven't been to Buttonwillow.
Oh yeah, we have.
Okay.
Its surface is worse than Buttonwillow. So,
All right.
but less of that very fine dust that gets everywhere, though.
Yes.
The
Absolute worst.
CMP is that gritty sand, but not the fine dust.
But also not the wind that the desert has.
That's true.
Yeah.
And not as-
'Cause that's
not
why
as-
you get the dust everywhere.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about cool stuff next year's schedule. There's a lot of really cool stuff on here.
Yeah.
Um,
What are you guys
Anything you
excited
want to
about?
highlight? I mean, I know what I'm excited about.
Well, what are you excited about?
OoptyCon,
Oh, yeah.
NJMB. Very
Aw,
excited.
We can't
I-
go.
I will be sad about this one because we can't go.
Oh,
No.
No,
In our backyard.
weekend change made it so that we are not able to attend.
you know what's
Chrissy's-
funny? I didn't even look at my calendar yet.
Chrissy's
Oh,
sister's
okay.
getting married that day on May the 4th. Be with you. And
Ah.
when they were planning it, they actually said, "Say, hey, when is your race in Jersey every year, so that we don't plan it
We
for
said
that weekend."
Mother's Day,
We said Mother's Day
don't
weekend.
do it
As long as
then.
it's not Mother's Day weekend, we're fine. So they have actually planned around what they thought the Lemons schedule would be, and then
It came out, and Chris was like, "Oh my gosh, OoptyCon and all this stuff," and he's like, "May 4th, this is great." And I was like, "You can't go." So there's that.
But Jen, we appreciate the effort nonetheless.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she is a listener. Hey, Jen.
I'll tell you, my wife is excited not to have it on Mother's Day for the first time in forever.
yeah,
You had to change it this year.
that's okay.
Not next year.
It's
That's
good.
okay.
It'll be an ongoing
might-
thing. That'll be better.
We might show up
Good.
on Sunday.
So I actually have a question because, and we probably should be like plugging this stuff because that's why you're here. But there are two HooptyCon events: March 9th, Sonoma Raceway, and May 4th, New Jersey Motorsports Park. And what are we expecting there? Is it same as it was before, like Radwood and?
Yeah. Again, this is something where we're like, yeah, we're going to do this. Let's put on schedule.
Then we figure it out later.
Probably start scheduling all this crap.
Like, has anyone talked to Bradley Brownell at this point
Yes.
and put it
Yeah.
on his calendar? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
all
think
we.
Radwood is unofficially in.
It's not like he's doing anything anymore. He doesn't have a podcast.
Oh,
No, he's-
that's like 2 weeks in a row. Bradley took a hit.
I know.
By the way, he was an excellent guest too, Eric.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Brad's great.
He called you
What-
out a bit.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah.
I haven't listened yet. I should probably not admit that. Damn it.
Come on,
Inside
you're going
voice,
to be
inside
listener
voice.
41. I know Bradley on our show mentioned that he was trying to convince Jay and company to get some parade laps
yeah,
for
we did
some of the Radwoody people.
we did that at Sonoma, and yeah, well, I think that's part of the plan is to do that again because it's what kept people around for the whole day, and we were kind of learning what we were doing. So if we put that carrot out there as the end of the day and then work the other events in before it, I think that's where we're aiming to go with it. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be part of it.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
And
Excellent.
Radwood, Concours de Lemons, and Billet Proof, I think, are all pretty well in at this point. But if you guys know car clubs or groups that kind of fit the general HooptyCon,
Flocktoberfest.
yeah.
Listen up, folks.
yeah,
This is your kind of convention.
anything in that kind of aesthetic, so to speak. I there's this great group out of Alabama they do ratty muscle car shows and drag racing, and there's just like knackered old like Camaros and stuff that are ugly, but it's only in Alabama, and I wish that was a national thing because that would be amazing. But
Playing the song of my people.
Well, we have
Exactly.
all of Jeff's cars. We could find a way to bring those, and that's pretty
I
much
was
the
going to
same
say
thing,
they're all in
right?
Jersey.
Yeah. So
yeah, so that's kind of what's on the docket for that. What else are you guys excited for? We got
Well-
two new tracks this year.
I see you guys are heading back to NOLA. I'm pretty geeked about that. Did you get a chance to get down there for that? No, you didn't because I was there. And you
No,
weren't.
Yeah.
I was not.
Are you going to make it this time?
We haven't gotten that far on the staff
okay.
scheduling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a long way.
I know I'll be in
So-
the Midwest races.
So you're here to plug stuff, but you have no idea anything about it.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much.
Hey,
That's all.
Brainerd is on there for the Minneapolis 500, which
Oh,
is
you betcha.
Oh,
There's
don't you know?
There's
Don't you know?
all four
Yeah,
of them.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the car that they had in Fargo? Was that a
Cutlass
Sierra?
I
That's
thought.
right.
Yeah.
Beige
Tan
Sierra.
Burn-
Tan Sierra. That was it.
Uh huh.
Mhm.
I'm
So so
not sure
Brainerd-
if I'm. Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Brainerd is new. What else is new?
Heartland Park in Topeka.
Oh,
So,
I missed that
uh,
on the schedule.
Yeah. That's we've been trying to kind of expand because we went to Omaha a few years ago and got an okay response there, and so we were kind of looking in the middle of the country we really wanted to do Hallett, but it's just not a conducive setup to us because there's no paddock access for the race.
Yeah. Once the track goes hot, yeah. And I love Hallett, but it's a shortcoming.
Yeah. So Topeka it is, and we're really interested to see what comes of it. So.
Hey, you know what always sells out every race every year? It's the Northeast. Just
yes.
I wrote this in the notes.
Track in the Northeast.
Seriously, who do I have to blow to get another event in the East?
Talk to Jeff Glenn. That's what I'd say.
Race.
Yeah.
Pit
we
race.
plug that every time.
Pit race is something we have on our radar, and it just didn't come together for
Yeah.
whatever reason this year. Jeff does all the bookings. That's outside of my area of expertise. Chris?
I'm not sure if I'm excited or afraid that there's a True 24 at CMP in the spring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where have you been, Jeff? Really?
I did notice it was a
I even texted you, hey, there's a True 24 at CMP. Yeah.
You know what we should do, guys? We should have all this stuff in like a Google Share document, like show notes, and we can mention all this.
Okay, good.
I don't know about
And
that.
we could like read them beforehand and be prepared for the
Yeah.
show.
No,
So-
it's not going to happen.
So
I
like
like the way
we've
you
always
think.
said, if there's a True 24 around, we're going to do it once just so that we never have to do it again. And
Yeah, they're terrible.
yeah.
So is it
I
the
think
fall or the
Come
spring?
race it if
Spring.
it's terrible.
I love
It's-
them. I
it's
love
2
True
weeks
24.
before
I
New
love
Jersey.
them.
So as Chrissy
Yeah.
and I can't go to New Jersey, it seems perfect that we do
Done!
CMP
Yep.
Done!
in the Honda, one car. So that means I have to have the Honda done by like March, so I can go
And
test it a little
tested.
bit, so that we don't ruin the entire 24 hours with our broken ass crap. Yeah, mental.
My only non-win or non-three pedal mafia win came at a Honda in a True 24.
I remember that race. That race was terrible.
It was
It
awesome.
was,
Yeah,
it was
great
98 degrees.
Yes, it
That's
was
nice.
great. Loved it.
Some dude's shoes fell apart because it was so hot on the pavement.
That happened to me in the boat once. The exhaust was a little hot by your right foot.
The exhaust pipe got a little close to the
Yeah.
transmission tunnel. Well,
Well-
this is cool. There's a lot of Concourse the Lemons shows.
Mhm.
There are only 2 rallies.
We may add a third one.
I was gonna
We're
say
probably
last-
not going to do 4 again.
Yeah, I was going to say last time you promised potentially adding some, but it looks like you subtracted some.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
What are you geeked about, Eric? I mean, seriously, you've been doing this for like 5 years. You've actually got a lot of motorsport experience outside of Lemons.
Mhm.
What's the one that you're like emailing Jay going, please let me work this one?
It's weird. I really like the people that I see every race that I go to, like in the Midwest, just because I'm so familiar with them.
And you love juggalos.
Oh, man. You say that. You say that. I have been promised there is a full-on gonna be amazing Juggalo theme coming to Gingerman. Like
All right.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
lip syncing and miracles and the whole thing. Like, it's gonna be a
Fago Pop.
Fago. It's gonna be.
Oh, they can get
Are
a lot
they-
of our
are they doing
local
the-
storehouses.
Oh, what was the Snake Busters thing that he did with his furry daughter? You know,
What?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, it-
I don't know.
his
That needs to go on
daughter-
bingo. Mental makes an obscure reference and no one gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Uh,
that's not bingo. You add it to the notes.
Yeah. Okay.
Still. Yeah. That's a
as-
good
as
idea.
for,
Add
like,
to the
su-
notes.
Stuff I'm super excited for. I mean, I'm always like going to tracks I haven't been. So for me, that's next year's NOLA, Brainerd, Heartland Park,
Mhm.
CMP, hopefully. And God, I'm missing one.
Yeah, I
High
guess-
Plains. I haven't been to Denver yet. So
I guess you
It's
as the
not
FN
Denver. It is like
Yeah, I
way
know. It's
outside of Denver.
BFE, literally in BFE. Yeah.
Yes.
So hoping to get to that.
Track.
And Brainerd, man, we have so many Fargo jokes and penalties.
Yeah,
already
exactly.
In the making. It's gonna be so good.
So do you get a get out of penalty box free for bringing a wood chipper?
Yeah, totally.
Nice.
Pull it behind the car.
I
Yeah.
want pancakes.
Best Pancake's house.
All right. Well, this is completely off the rails, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Anything
I know
else
you
you want
probably
to
gonna wrap
expected,
soon,
right?
but, we have some. We're kicking around some really big, awesome ideas for 2020 already. So stuff that's probably too late to make happen for next year, but stay tuned because I think we're going to do some really awesome stuff in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. You already have done really awesome stuff, so
I mean,
kudos.
more awesomer.
More
maximum
awesomer.
awesomeness. Yeah.
Excellent.
Go, mental.
I'd like to point out to the powers that be over at the headquarters of the 24 Hours of Lemons that since the employment of Eric Rood, your entire curriculum has expanded vastly. It has brought you fame and fortune. And Eric deserves a raise because he loves this stuff, and he's a big reason a lot of people show up. That's it.
Yep.
They don't
You know,
listen
Jay
to the
doesn't
show
listen
anyway.
to the show.
No, I
Yeah.
know. They don't listen to the show at all.
I'm sorry, I'm just playing ICP in the background. Keep talking, Eric. It's fine.
Anything else you want to pimp, Eric?
Now I suddenly understand why Jeff thinks I'm from Detroit. Actually, this totally makes perfect sense.
The only one I know.
Jeff
who
doesn't
understands
understand those
Juggalo
Midwest
jokes.
states. He just knows that
No.
they fly over.
We're all
like,
the
that's
same.
it.
They're all
Nobody
square.
Yeah.
Doesn't
does.
matter.
Stuff to pimp. You can follow 24 Hours of Lemons on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. There is a new version of the video that got taken down because we used Like a Rock by Bob Seger, and
I
Nick
wondered
Pond
why.
dubbed in the vocals, and it's great.
It was
So-
the Ridge, right? The Ridge.
Yes, the
update?
Ridge recap. Yeah.
I wondered that like popped up in my thing. It was like
Yep,
they
and then
just posted the Ridge. I was like, I already saw that video.
Yeah. So go follow Lemons everywhere.
How about you?
We're awesome and
do
stuff.
people want to talk to you?
No, now that I do social media like for Lemons, I don't ever use my own stuff. But you can follow me if you really want on Twitter and Instagram. At
What
the
else? 'Cause
Rusty Pub.
we saw some of your stuff on Haggerty, and then where else you writing these days? You still writing for Hot Rod?
Not Hot Rod so much. I've kind of started writing for Hooniverse again, so you can follow me on Hooniverse. also.
Hey, there we go.
Good.
We had Jeff on the show. We love that guy.
Jeff Glucker's awesome, and Tim especially. Tim's Lemons car is amazing.
Is that the Ranchero?
The Ranchero, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they put that back together when it got crashed. That was the
Yes.
shame.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Nice.
And as always, thanks for having me. This is always a blast.
We love
We
it.
always like having
Thank
you.
you for being here.
You're still number one guest in our heart.
Always.
Aww.
Oh,
Meaning first. Don't get excited. What time is it?
Just the tip. Tip.
It's
I
such a
wish
shame.
the video of this is
I
amazing.
know that's what I was gonna
what
say.
you guys
It's
do.
such a shame this is audio only because watching all of us do it at the same time that Chrissy rolls her eyes so drastically.
So funny.
You can actually
Okay.
hear the eye roll.
That's all right. This is a quick. If you put a propane tank in your car, don't leave it there long. If you hear it leaking, take it out of your car ASAP. Make sure you have secured it standing upright. So this is all prompted because there was a super quick story, Jalopnik article with a video that went viral of a lady driving in a CRV driving away with a propane tank in the back of her car. Then it blew up.
Oh,
Quote, I wasn't smoking at the time. Still don't know whose propane tank, so I work in propane safety, so we don't know whose propane tank. Note for that.
Strickland, totally Strickland.
Bingo. Somebody just got bingo. Yes, so, yes, be careful.
so
with your
I
trip.
didn't see the video. Was it like a 20 pounder or whatever?
We don't know. The car is exploded, so
Yeah.
we don't know who filled it. We don't know whose it is. That's obviously our concern.
And clearly, if she had a quote, she was
Alive.
relatively harmed.
Oh, she's alive. I mean, she's
Okay.
messed up, but alive.
Yeah.
That's not my concern. I'm more concerned about the propane tank. Because that's what I do.
Chrissy, I'd just like to remind you that the largest propane tank I ever transported in the back of my Protege 5 is a 100-pound tank.
You're not supposed to do that.
I know. That's what the guy
As
said. As he helped
Charge
me
you
load
with
it in.
terrorism for that now. They will actually put
really-
you in federal prison.
I really hope you didn't go to U-Haul to
Jeff,
do that.
I think Jeff's actual line to the guy was, "It's a day before Thanksgiving. My mother was out to my house. My wife is pregnant, and I'm out of propane. Just put it in the car."
It exactly was. You're absolutely right.
You're really not supposed to do that anyway, regardless of all of the things that you have. It's your problem, not ours.
It's funny because I really expected more protests. He's just like, I'm just telling you, dude, whatever. It's your life, whatever.
You could have been that car.
I know.
So the funny part of this story is because it's floating around work, and somebody brings it up on their computer, and it says Jalopnik, and I was like, that's a funny, crappy car thing that I watch. Like, it wasn't like CNN. It was like Jalopnik, and I was like, okay.
I know those people.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I know people that write for them. Okay, all right. Enough of that. Next show. Always tune in next week to see how our picks for all the races go. But even more so, come back for some great stories from Top Dog Kathy. She'll be announcing our contest winner, so hopefully you already applied in the show notes. Do it now. And she's not retracting our Laguna Seca offer because we're so excited. Indies at Portland Flocktoberfest, as well as sausage making of an annual schedule.
Yeah, this is all the things that Eric doesn't know she's going to tell us about, like how they make schedules and stuff.
Sorry. Okay, good.
Thanks for reading it ahead of time, honey.
That's I'm getting the bird from the Rude.
Thanks, Rude. Thanks, Rude,
Eric,
for showing
thanks.
up.
We actually love you. And you can
Thanks
come
for
back
having
Eric, seriously, thanks for coming out.
And I'm not saying that because someday you'll be judging me. Thank you for
I'm always
downloading
judging
us.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't start now.
Don't judge me.
I'm laughing too hard to do the credits. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please check into the local insane asylum right after you click the button to subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. If you have any questions or want to give us some show ideas, drop us a comment on only 5-star reviews on iTunes count. Yes, you heard that right. If you'd rather not, check us out on Facebook or email us, everyone.racers@gmail. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Everyone Racers. Thanks again. Thanks to Eric. And until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless it's like his wagon and there is no shiny side, then just keep the wheels down.